Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dolynny TV. Welcome back to another month of predictions here for the Edmonton Oilers in the month of December. Quickly, though, we will have to recap good old November stats and how things went along because, of course, last October I had a pretty good set of predictions. November, well, let's say how the predictions for me went. Of course, you can check out that video anytime by searching up my Edmonton Oilers November schedule predictions, whether on my channel or whether it be on just the good old YouTube search. Now, what you need to understand, first off, before I get into the predictions, is the Oilers went 7-5-2 in the month of November. A very, comparative, could have been worse. We really at times, I think, thought it was going to get worse. A lot of people were ready to write this team off after that St. Louis and Arizona back-to-back loss, and then, of course, the San Jose 6-3 loss, the Dallas loss, the LA loss, then the Colorado loss, and especially the Vancouver loss. A lot of people were starting to panic, I think, a little bit on Twitter. I mean, Twitter's a terrible barometer of how Edmonton Oilers fans are actually thinking at the time. But that said, here we go into the month of December, and let's get to those predictions. What I said in the month of November, my prediction was 9-4-1 for the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers went 7-5-2. So realistically, one more loss in regulation and one more loss in overtime. So we lost off my prediction a total of 3 points. We finished the month with 35 points. Should have finished, by my prediction, with 38 points on the month. That said, you know what? It's okay. It's all good. Or I guess, what? Hold on. Yeah, 38. I don't know where I'm getting my math. I'm out to garbage town here, guys. Anyway, dogs barking in the background if you can't hear that. 4-2 after first 6 games. That's what I was saying for this Oilers team. Now, if you're unfamiliar with how the schedule went, our first 6 games of the month were Pittsburgh, Arizona, St. Louis, New Jersey, Anaheim, and San Jose. The Edmonton Oilers, according to my math, went 3-2-1. So there's 1 year points left on the board. That was against the Arizona Coyotes. Trust me, that would have been a very nice 2 points to get in regulation instead of getting the loser point right there. And then there were the must-win games. And the must-win games are one that I might have to try and add up here in December again. Is my must-win games for the month was Pittsburgh to open the month, Arizona, Anaheim, Vegas, and of course Arizona at the end of the month. Those were my 5 must-win games of the month. And the Oilers went 4-0-1 in those must-win games. Hey, that's a heck of a record. I'm not claiming that I factored into that at all because I didn't. But I'm happy to say I knew the Oilers need to step up in those games, and some miracle said they actually stepped up, and that is great to see. That's what you like to see. If you're going to call it a must-win, you want to see them win. You don't want to be a clown and say, oh, they must win this one, and then have them get laughed on in like a game like Vancouver or Colorado. So very good to see them go 4-0-1 in the games I predicted needed to be must-wins. Now, above 500 in division games, my prediction was had to go 5-2-1. The Oilers went 4-3-1. So there you go. That's the points I'm talking about missing. There it is. That extra regulation loss to the division. That will cost us if we don't pick it up a little bit more, clean it up a bit more in the division. Now, obviously, 4-3-1, you know what, to steal that extra point and such, that's not too bad. But remember, we did give up points against the division, that being the game against Arizona that we won in a shootout, so that costs us. Now, guys, that's my recap of my November predictions. If you're new to Dolynny TV and you're like, maybe it's time to hit that subscribe button because this guy sits here and does the stuff that counts. I don't know. I'm terrible at selling myself. If you guys have watched for any time, you know that. What I'm saying, subscribe gets you the Oilers news that much faster. The Oilers talk, whatever you're coming here for, it gets you that much faster. And if you click the bell, it allows mobile notifications to your phone. I know that's not for everyone, so I'm not saying I'm pushing that hard, but if that is for you, definitely think about it as well. So let's get to it, guys. Here is, without a doubt, the December schedule. Whoop! We've already got a win on that schedule. Oh no, Tyson, what are you doing? You're slacking. Yeah, guys. I had a busy day yesterday. You know what? I wasn't expecting that Stuart Skinner, Zach Kassian, and Chris Russell news to hit. This was scheduled to come out yesterday. However, we'll take it on the second with a victory already in tow. So Vancouver, well, that was a must-win game. We needed to bounce back after a two-game losing streak, and especially in regulation. So you know what? We got it done. 3-2 victory against Vancouver. That leaves us with Ottawa, LA, Buffalo, Carolina, Minnesota, Toronto, Dallas, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Montreal, Vancouver, Calgary, and the New York Rangers. Count that. Let's get to this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 home games this month. That's crazy. We will play like pretty much 70% of our home games from the first 2 months in the month of December. That's absolutely nuts. We only have 4 more road games remaining this month, and the key stat you need to know about this Edmonton Oilers team at home this year is, if I can find it, I honestly can't remember what our home record is, so let me go grab it for you. It is 7-3-2. Yes, sirree. We have been deadly at home, so yeah, let's clutch up. Let's win some games at home, shall we? I think Ottawa, guys, that's these next 2 games. Ottawa, LA, which LA I won't be able to watch. It's the first Oilers game of the season I won't be able to watch in full, and that's really a hard-hitting fact that I made it all the way to December 6th without missing a game. Fantastic for me. Now, I hope you're doing the same, because you want to keep up with this team as much as possible as often. Now let's get to this. Ottawa, that's a easy win. Problem is we've had trouble with that, so flip-flop that one however you want to go. LA, again, same thing. Easy win because they're at the bottom of the standings, but we've had some trouble with that. So I think to go 1-1 against LA and Ottawa, that's asking about it where we should be, because we just know how it goes, except for these are 2 home games. So let's do the math. I think Buffalo, that should be a win. I think that should be a win because, again, to go 2-1 and, well, we got a game against Carolina as well. So 2-2 on the homestand, I think that's a safe bet. 3-1 is a very okay bet. Let's just say that. I think the Oilers are capable of winning 3 of the next 4. Minnesota, guys, oh my goodness, they're just lining up guys and teams that trap us all to death. So Minnesota flip-flop game, let's go 3-2 after that. Toronto, that's a coin flip at this point. Are they going to come off that Sheldon Keefe high? What's going to happen there? Dallas, we've already seen what happened there at this point. St. Louis as well. Pittsburgh, Montreal, Vancouver again, Calgary, New York. You get where I'm going, right? This is just it's just a murderer's row for the Edmonton Oilers this month of games you could possibly screw up. Not games that you're going to lose, but games you could easily screw up. So let's get this going. Let's get the must-wins in. Obviously, Vancouver, Calgary, over the Christmas break, those are going to be must-win games. I think that Dallas game is a must-win, and then, of course, that LA game as well is a must-win. I know we're asking all 3 of our remaining division contests, I'm saying are must-wins, but guys, we screwed it up in November. We got to go out there and destroy the division in December and get it done. So, you know what? Those are my 4 must-wins. That's, as long as we win those 4, that is the bare minimum for me to be happy this month. Obviously, I think Ottawa's an easy win. I think there's a lot of easy wins on this board, but that's caused us trouble. And now after doing this for 2 months, I don't want to feel like I'm going to screw this up, but it's very easy at this point to screw up how the Oilers are going to manage this schedule this month, because there are a lot of games that could go one way or another. So what do we got? A total of 9 home games and a total of 5 road games for another 14 games in the month. Oh man, I'm loving these 14-game months. So we're already 1-0. We got 13 other games to go with 4 must-wins. So technically speaking, that, ladies and gentlemen, would be 5 games won, and then you've gotten 9 others remaining. So Ottawa, let's chalk up a win. Let's chalk up a loss to Carolina. So Buffalo. So you know what? After the first 4 games of the month, we're 4-1. And then we've got 3 other games, so 7-1, and then Minnesota chalk up an overtime loss, 7-1-1. Toronto chalk up loss, 7-2-1. St. Louis, chalk up a loss, 7-3-1. Pittsburgh, they're hurting, they're banged up. You know what? I'm going to say by the 20th, they're still not fully recuperated. So let's go 8-2-1. Montreal, you know what? That's a sucker game to lose 5 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon at home in the holiday season. Yeah, let's go. What do I got here? I've got 3 games remaining at that point. Let's go 8-3. Oh, what? Did I screw up my math? Hold on. Ottawa, yeah, 4-1, and then 4-1-1, 4-2-1, and then 7-2-1, 7-3-1. So that gives me 11 games. 4 to go. What the heck did I screw up here, guys? Hold on. The math is complicated. I should be writing this down and penciling it out, but all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, and okay, 4, 4-1, 4-1-1, 4-2-1, 5-2-1, 5-3-1. That's a total of 9 games. That leaves me 5. There we go. There's my math. 5-3-1, and then 6-3-1. You know what? Let's go 6-3-2 against Montreal. I don't feel like we're going to lose that one. I think it'll be a loss in. Let's go in overtime. And then so that's 6-3-2, 2 must wins, 8-3-2, and then for good measure, let's just lose that game against the New York Rangers, 8-4-2. My prediction this month. I mean, the home record's been good, but let's go 8-4-2 this month and see where we sit. That's what I'm gonna roll out there this month with. So you've got the math, right? The 4 must wins. You've got LA, Dallas, Vancouver, Calgary, and then the loss to finish off the year against the New York Rangers. But again, realistically, where does that build us in any back-to-back losses? It really doesn't, other than Minnesota and Carolina, or really if it's Buffalo, it's Buffalo. So 8-4-2, guys, is going to be my prediction for the month of December. The must-win games, LA, Dallas, Vancouver, Calgary, and there you go. That's the math that you have to go. Of course, the super stat you're looking for, start the month 4-1-1 after the first 6 games. I like the 6-game marker. Let's go there. Let's have a little bit of fun and see what this 8-4-2 record turns into at the end of the month. Hopefully, I'm wrong and it's like 10-4, and that would be fantastic, but we should, according to an 8-4-2 record, still be on pace for the playoffs. That would be 53 points, and of course, we would still most likely be atop the Pacific Division if all goes according to plan. Guys, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. That's been my predictions for December. As always, make sure to give your thoughts in the comment section down below. I will catch you in the next one.